In the fertile ground of America's heartland, it is said, if you build it, they will come. Well, it has been built, and it's growing. For generations, Cy the Cyclone was in a maze, trying to find his way out. But he's emerged on the other side, looking for the light of victory and the ultimate light, which is a victory over an old rival. And oh, are there believers everywhere that today's the day the rivalry gets turned around. It's a historic meeting, first time they've met as ranked opponents. Now look, this isn't the only place there are old rivalries renewed, Oregon, Ohio State, and Columbus, but this is the only top 10 matchup of the day in college football. Now, you know the Hawkeyes have controlled the caucus for the last 5 years, but the Clones are good. And today's the day Cy believes there's one more step. Beat that rival and celebrate it right here on College Ames Day.
College Game Day, live from Ames, Iowa, is built by the Home Depot. Proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
If you are wearing black and gold in the greater Ames area, I suggest you take cover. The Cyclones are coming for you. Well, the one thing we've learned about this rivalry, no matter how the wind blows, the Hawkeyes do not walk in here scared. Not for a second. The cannon's got us started. Cyclone sirens are blaring. How great is it to be back on campus and have a crowd like this one?
Oh!
College Game Day, our second trip.
Oh!
Glad you're with us this morning. Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Desmond Howard here. Hey, look, we had a great neutral site crowd last week.
We did.
This is where we belong. This is our place. This is our people, right?
100%. I tell you guys, well, you know, I come out here early because I do some previous hits before the show, right?
Yeah.
And from the hotel to the site, all I could see was pitch black. But all I could see were tail lights from point A to point Z. I looked at the runner, Denzel. I said, Denzel, this is going to be an epic show. We got DJ Swift, Rob Swift on the ones and twos. Kirk, the one thing I want to know, is this a Cyclone State or a Hawkeye State? That's what I want to know. I'll leave here today.
You're just winding them up, right?
I need to know that.
Well, lately it's been a Hawkeye State.
Okay.
Lately it's been a Hawkeye State. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We'll see if today, you know, last year was maybe the best year. It wasn't maybe. It was the best year that Iowa State's had in school history. And they got 20 starters back from that team that beat Oregon 34-17. And they got an experienced quarterback. If there's ever a year you would think Iowa State playing at home has a chance to knock off Iowa, this would be that year, right?
Hey, Kurt, listen up. This is some good stuff for you. I'm going to give you some good stuff now. Pay attention. Since 1894, Iowa and Iowa State have played 67 times. This is the first time both teams are ranked nationally.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Top 10.
Now listen, Iowa State is ranked 9th, and it is a 4.5-point favorite. It's going to be a great day for Iowa State. Going to be a great day.
Maybe. Iowa and Iowa State. Brees Hall led the nation in rushing last year, 1,572 yards. You know the Clones are going to try to run it, but it's hard to move it anyway against Iowa. Riley Moss, couple of pick sixes against Indiana. Beat Iowa jerseys. This is how intense it is for Iowa State. It is hard hitting, but unspeakable miscues at the worst times have just befallen the Cyclones at the worst moment. But they believe today, in a game that Tyler Goodson says is Iowa State's Super Bowl, is the day that the Clones will try to pull a Herky-sized thorn right out of their side.
Games like this get down to mental toughness, physical toughness.
The Hawkeyes, for the 5th straight year.
Their fans are in their head talking about we need to beat the Hawkeyes. It's like their Super Bowl.
When there's two Power 5 football programs in the same state, it's a powerful energy that comes with playing in this football game.
It's always been a big game in this state. And this year, the whole nation is going to look at it.
Whenever these two teams play against each other, it's on.
Anytime you can hold a trophy, job well done, and the mission accomplished.
Coach can't wait for that one. We can't wait for this. Ashton Kutcher. Now, I'm sure they love, dude, where's my car? They love Pumped, but they don't like the fact that he's an Iowa fan. He's going to be our celebrity guest picker. We couldn't be happier to have him join us. What do you got here, kid?
The crowd down with that. So let me get the crowd going, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh. Hey.
Sneaky there. I didn't know you were doing that.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And Coors Light, made to chill.
Stadium here in Ames, and that statue in honor of Jack Trice, the first African-American athlete for what was then Iowa State College. Stadium named after him is representation of Trice's legacy and what he meant to the university. In fact, the patch you'll see on Iowa State's uniforms reflective of the jersey that Jack Trice wore when he played in the 20s. There's a pick. Hey, Bear, look.
Oh, look at this, Bear. Look at this sign.
The Bear drinks free everywhere.
There you go.
Hey,
this is his team.
If Bear's on the ballot of the Iowa caucus, he's a winner, right?
It's good to be loved somewhere.
Yeah. Bear wanted to get in on Thursday. I was like, I thought he was a grand marshal of a parade or something. I mean, he loves Ames, Iowa.
Good time with dinner on Thursday.
And they
We
love
did.
the Bear.
Look at that scene.
Yeah. Oh, man, Pizza Hut fan cam.
It's awesome.
Give us a great. Have a look at the QR code right here. Scan this flow code to vote. Log on to ESPN.com/fanvote. That Clemson, Georgia thing was almost down to the 1 or 2 votes. It was almost exactly 50-50. We'll keep an eye on it, see how you guys are voting, making these.
I woke up last night at like 2:30 and I'm thinking about like punt return, you know what I mean? And like my whole thought process about it is like your communication back there, even having those knuckleheads around you, like, man, we got to do a great job communicating what's going on.
Track coming next.
we got to be ready to rock and roll, but you got to be ready to rock and roll too. You know what I mean? Like you want, man, shots and opportunities, and we got to do a great job of taking advantage of our shots and opportunities. That's my only point to you. Cool? Yes, sir. Okay.
He has done a remarkable job. He will square off against the dean of college football coaches. Kirk Ferentz has been at Iowa for 23 years, head-to-head. Ferentz won some close games. The last 3, anyway, have been close. Campbell looking for his first win in this rivalry. So, Elsie, look, Matt Campbell has elevated Iowa State to unforeseen heights. Ferentz has been able to maintain his program. From your experience coaching, which is harder to do, build a program or maintain it?
Now it's build a program. Because of the social media and all the negative criticism you can get, it's tougher now. It's tough on the administration to give a coach a long enough time to build the right program. I'm a perfect example. When I was at Louisville, I lost 11 games in 4 years. I went to Indiana and won 5 games in 3 years. Whoa, without social media, they let me stay until I build a program until the right way. That's its secret, to building a program the right way. The coaches now don't get enough time.
That's an interesting thought, because you're right, the energy from social media, from fans, it's very different from when your time, when you were trying to build Indiana up. And I think the athletic directors sometimes feel that, and they can cave in. I think what's happened here in Ames is remarkable. I mean, you think about what Matt Campbell inherited. They had 1 winning season in the 10 previous years that he got in here. He had a vision. He also had a backing by the athletic department, the president. I think in order to do it, it's not a coach alone. He has the vision, but you have to have the backing from the university and the alignment, much like the NFL with the owner, the GM, and the coach. Same thing when it comes to the president, the board, and the AD.
I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good-looking woman with her arms around me. Live in a small town where it feels like home. I got everything I need and nothing that I don't.
What a great morning in Ames as we cross the top of the hour. Iowa and Iowa State, the only top 10 matchup on this college football Saturday, one that Iowa State desperately wants. And you know him from that 70s show, 2.5 Men, The Ranch. Ashton Kutcher is also an Iowa super fan. He is our celebrity guest picker. Come on, guys, it's Ashton Kutcher, come on. You know, anybody that's black and gold today, they're not in favor of. What is Desmond got?
Hey. Dad's got all the toys today at Ames. He got all the toys. The siren, holding the stick, shooting the cannon. It's like, where's Waldo? Where's Des? What's he up to next?
I'll tell you, Desmond's multi-talented, all perfect.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is brought to you by Peloton.
Some great signs out there. We've got a remarkable crowd. They've been so attentive and responsive, taking digs at each other for this in-state rivalry. And taking digs at each other, that's part of the sport. What a scene. Farm strong. That is the motto here. Ames just a sea, mostly of Cardinal and gold. There's some Hawkeye fans out there. Truck cams? What is going on there? Director Ronnie Perez, new hairdo. Ton of flags. This crowd has been responsive this morning. They're eager for this Cy-Hawk meeting. Cyclone fans hoping that they can turn things around. Our celebrity guest picker hopes not. It's Ashton Kutcher. We'd like to thank our good friends at Wheels Up for helping us secure our guest picker each week. Can't wait to have Ashton Kutcher join us up here. Wonder what kind of reaction he's going to get. It is doing season, guys, and we're excited to be back with the fans. So let's check in on this week's Home Depot Tailgate Pro, Michael Carter from Ames, Iowa, and Metro Property Management. Our doer. You follow Dez on Instagram. Dez is a doer at home, too. Huh?
Very true, very true.
I just have to call the man. There are so many great fans out here in Gen Lander, the story of a very special Cyclone fan.
Good morning, Reese. Let me throw a date out to this Iowa State fan base. How about November 18th, 2011? You guys remember that day? That is when Iowa State beat Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was number 2 in the nation back then. It was a double overtime game right here at Jack Trice Stadium. And that was a game that Cyclone fan Nick Bassett went to and decided he would never miss another home game here at Jack Trice Stadium. A streak, guys, that was almost compromised this year.
I am Nicholas Bassett. I have been a fan of the Iowa State Cyclones my entire life, and I bleed cardinal and gold. I have what's called scoliosis and kyphosis that was caused by a benign glioma tumor, and so I've been in a wheelchair since 10th grade. And in November of 2020, I went into one of my weekly appointments one day, and my toes were just black. When the doctors told me an option was to amputate my legs, my heart sank. May 28th is when I had my legs amputated. The night before my surgery, Matt Campbell called me. He said, "Tough times don't last, tough people do." My goal was to be able to be healthy enough to go see Matt Campbell and the Iowa State football team this fall. And one phrase kept burning through my mind: I will. The Jack Trice "I will" from his letter. I would be saying "I will" to myself throughout every single lift, just "I will." It had been 651 days since the last time I attended a game at Jack Trice Stadium. I rolled up to my seats and I hugged the bar because I was so happy to be back. Whenever I sit in that spot for a few short hours, I'm in heaven.
You guys knew that Nicholas wouldn't miss College Ames Day. He is here with us today. So great to have him. And Nicholas, you have had a very busy week. I heard that you got to speak to the team earlier this week. So tell this great crowd what you told the team to pump them up for today's game against Iowa.
Yeah, so I got invited to talk to the team on Monday, and I just got in there and I told them, I said, "You guys have overcome so much. You guys are still trying to prove doubters wrong. You guys are still trying to prove that you are deserving to be in the spot you are." And just all of the things that I covered in the piece, and I told them that we will beat the Hawkeyes this Saturday.
All right, you want to do a little chant with our crowd here. What do we want to say to them?
All right, Cyclone! Cyclone! Cyclone!
Yes, Nicholas! That is fantastic. Great to have you. He actually brought his prized possession, a signed helmet from Matt Campbell, guys. It is pretty sweet.
That is awesome. There's going to be that type of energy. The only top 10 matchup of the day, Iowa and Iowa State, 4:30 Eastern time. A special start because of some 9/11 ceremonies on ABC. Kirk and I will have the call along with Holly Rowe from Jack Trice Stadium, and then in prime. There's a standard that is being set here at Iowa State today with the signs. They're clever, they're creative, they walk right up to the line without crossing it. Let's have a look at some of the best ones. Although I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, man, that's a compliment. I love that.
Hey, my man could get out of the pocket. There's no doubt my man could get out of the pocket.
Yeah. There you go. What? The sign game is strong here, strong.
Iowa State smashing the Hawkeyes. Ames right in the middle of it. I like. How about this one? The Bull Big 12 shutout. Big 12's got some new members coming in.
They're coming after these two teams.
Have you guys ever baled hay?
No, sir.
Am I the only one in this set that's baled hay?
I think I baled hay one time.
Okay.
Maybe once.
Let's say you would have lost that bet if you picked me on that. I bet you, wouldn't you? All right. Look at Ferentz. Look at that Coastal Carolina-worthy mullet that Ferentz.
Well, I would have never thought that.
No, man.
That is pretty good. That's pretty good stuff.
Hawkeyes eat field corn.
Okay.
I will confess, I'm not sure what that means. It seems like a good thing. They're writing something bad, but it seems good. I don't know.
Alphabetical order.
Quarterback, that's not nice. Ashton Kutcher will have something to say about that pretty soon when he comes out. Iowa fan,
man.
fan.
Oh, yeah.
See,
that's something that, yeah.
I said earlier they walked up to the line, didn't cross. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah,
There's one line there. We told you the Bear drinks for free. Arnold Palmer's on the house. There you go for the Bear.
There you go.
There's the Bear. Got 2 picks up there. 1 more to go for this Cy-Hawk game. You know, necessity is the mother of invention. When Matt Campbell and his staff got here, they were getting wrecked on defense. Came up with that 3-safety look that had stymied teams, but really hasn't given Iowa enough problems in terms of forcing mistakes.
Tyler Goodson is becoming Tyler Grayson. Touchdown, Hawkeyes.
When you think about them offensively, it always starts with the running game. They can create the running game, then open up the big play opportunities down the field for their tight ends or for their receivers. It's when they become really dangerous.
We're going to have to make, at some point in the game, deliver some tough plays, execute some tough plays, make the tough catch, make the tough run.
Pass is picked off. Mike Rose with it at the 35 to the 40-yard line. Iowa State's defense able to virtually finish things off in the desert.
They have a great defense that's fundamentally sound from top to bottom, and they play great team defense, and they fly around and they make plays.
For the defense as a whole, it's about being disciplined, doing our job, and then just physically, beating them to the punch.
The defense is a staple, but the defense hasn't forced an Iowa turnover in this game since 2015. But what they do in the second half, their last half dozen games, they give up next to nothing. Texas, the only one, the high water mark with 7 points. It's a terrific defense. People across college football are copying.
Yeah, you and I had a chance to catch up with John Haycock, the defensive coordinator who's behind this scheme yesterday, and he wanted to very quickly point out it's the scheme, but I'll tell you, it's the players buying into the scheme and getting off blocks and running to the football and playing with a great deal of passion. But Reese is right. It seems like every week we talk to a defensive coordinator around the country, including Brent Venables. They come to Ames, Iowa to learn about this defensive scheme. So it's definitely worth something to pay attention to today because Iowa has struggled to run the football. It's their bread and butter. It's what they want to do. Let's look at Iowa State's defense in this kind of 3-3-5 stack and why it is what it is. To me, let's take a look at today's more driven player presented by Goodyear. It's a defense that allows these players to run to the football, and they get off blocks. There's always an extra hat. This is Mike Rose, who these fans love. He's an All-American. The quarterback on an RPO kind of sees him in between, and he's gonna run the football. Mike Rose getting upfield forces him back inside, and I want you to look at not only Rose making the play, but look at all of these jerseys that are running to the ball. This is what Coach Haycock's talking about. You got 9 guys there. Here's trips. They're going to motion. Again, they're going to look at Mike Rose. He's kind of in between, right there. He's a hang player. Yep. Looks like he's more part of the box. He got 2-on-1. Let's throw it out there because we got one guy to block the corner, and then we can get a guy out in space. Well, the corner anticipates that. Great job by Datrone Young there, getting up, blowing the play up. And again, there's those jerseys running to the ball. This is a 3rd down play. You got 6 defenders. They walk the 2 linebackers up. Offense thinks, okay, we got 6 to block, no problem. Only problem you got to deal with is because of the way the offensive line slid, you got a running back trying to deal with a big linebacker and Orion Vance. But that's not going to work out very well. So Iowa's going to have to, the answer to me in this is Iowa's play action pass. Spencer Petras has got to do a good job early downs because there's a lot of space on the outside of this defense underneath. If I'm Iowa, early downs, try to make some plays and make these corners have to tackle.
Iowa State is ranked 9th nationally. I'm going to give it a couple rooms. You brought up a great job in TG defense. Their defense, in the second half this year, in the last 6 games, they've allowed 16 points, like you said. That's amazing. And 2 is quarterback Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He owns 25 school records offensively.
Yep.
It's a wonder to me that poor old Iowa even has a chance.
I mean, why even show up, Hunter?
Yeah.
Why even show up?
Just stay in Iowa City,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that smile.
Oh, no.
I tell you what, guys, you know, it's funny you mentioned the defense because I was listening to the Monday night call, you guys, and you talked about DJ Durkin, how he came up here alone. Yeah, studied from Coach Haycock, and that 3-3-5 is giving people fits. I want to see Iowa State's offense. Obviously, last week, they didn't perform on the same level that we're accustomed to. Matt Campbell addressed that in the media. He said there were little mistakes here. Offensive line blocks were just a little bit away. And then the timing of their All-American running back, Breece Hall, was a little bit off. They understand to beat the Iowa Hawkeyes, they got to get the running game going. Matt, I tell you, listen, here we want to run the ball, we want to stop the run, then everything else falls in place. They got to get Breece Hall going early if they're going to beat the Hawkeyes.
We're going to continue to break down that game. We want to put a button on something. Our statistician, Mark Amento, lets me know the field corn sign that we saw.
Yeah.
Field corn is just used for feeding livestock or producing ethanol.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There you go. Local knowledge.
I don't know about Nebraska corn.
What's the difference between Nebraska corn and Iowa corn?
I don't know. I think both of them
I don't know.
sweet and delicious.
Is that a bad question?
I think
guess that
anything
was
to
a
do
bad-
with Nebraska.
Anything to do with Nebraska? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Man.
Is there any duck being cooked up right there, or are they just cooking that up in Columbus? Chefs Tracy Drury and Matt Olson from Hickory Park here in Ames, a terrific restaurant.
Just married.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
People
Absolutely.
married.
Yeah.
Give you a field pass to Oregon and Ohio State. They'll kick off about 5 minutes after noon Eastern time. Keep an eye on Justin Flo and Kayvon Thibodeau, and keys to victory in this Cy-Hawk game is today the day for Iowa State.
Those first games don't mean a thing in this rivalry. There's always more energy for these games, always a little more excitement.
We're excited to bring it back here in Ames.
It feels like a responsibility to keep the trophy in our building.
And Ashton Kutcher, Iowa superfan, so excited to have him. Hey, look, they love the movies, they love the shows, trust me. They just don't like who he roots for. And LC will put on the mascot head. Iowa State band is the only one that'll be here for this. And the Iowa band not making the trip this time. What a great lineup we have for you. The U.S. Open Men's and Women's Championships. Women today, men on Sunday, in between Saturday Night Football, Washington and Michigan, and then Monday Night Football, Week 1. Ravens and the Raiders. It's on ESPN and ABC. Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Some other options on ESPN+. Everything available on the ESPN app. And thanks to our good friends and partners at Wheels Up, they get our celebrity guest picker each and every week. And we are delighted that Ashton Kutcher, who's been a remarkable force for charitable movements. And they may be booing him getting off the plane, but he doesn't mind. I don't. Hawkeye game.
Okay.
Oh, Hawkeye win.
1 point, but that's 1 point.
1 point Hawkeye win. He's already given us a lean coming out. I have a feeling he's not going to pull any punches here, too.
He's trying to get some.
I don't think so.
Trying to be nice back here.
Yeah, he's getting him started. Game here in Ames. It is going to be electric as Iowa State tries to snap a 5-game losing streak. Iowa hasn't allowed anyone to score as many as 25 points in 23 games. That's the longest streak in the country. Cyclones offensive coordinator Tom Manning told us yesterday the Hawkeyes' strength, one of them, they know where their weaknesses are, and they scheme to make sure that they have help there. And they just don't bust. They wait for you to make the mistake. And that's the first thing Iowa State aims to change today.
I thought we had a really physical full camp.
and I think that really helped us.
Like they're the same defense they've been for the last 20 years. They're very consistent, and they're good at what they do.
They know exactly who they are defensively.
Penix to throw, and it's picked off, intercepted, and heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Iowa!
They always have their guys in great position. They always have their defenders with the eye on the football.
They make you beat yourselves, quarterbacks especially.
Purdy to throw, leaping catch, and a touchdown!
Yeah, just an outstanding football player. Can hurt you with his feet as well as his arm.
They're definitely going to try to get the ball to the playmakers.
Hall really broke into the scene last year. He was a tremendous football player.
Between week 1 and week 2 is the greatest growth of your football team, and we certainly look forward to seeing that this week.
Strength versus strength. The Iowa defense, they don't let you run. That 2.8 since the start of the last season per rush, third best in the country. Breece Hall has been terrific. This will be Iowa's really first look at Breece Hall.
Yeah.
What do you expect from this Iowa State offense?
Man, I expect them to play much better than they did a week ago. I think they understand what's at stake. They have to beat Iowa, and they understand that to beat Iowa, they're going to have to run the football. They didn't run the ball extremely well a week ago, but let me show you what you're going to see when the Cyclones are on offense this afternoon. First and foremost, look at Jared Russ. Now, he's the guy who Coach says he loves his energy. He loves how he knows his assignments. He's going to come across the formation, and you don't have to pancake a guy. Just seal the block right there, so then your All-American Breece Hall can pick up that first down where that yellow marker is. And this is what they do extremely well. Another thing that they love to do is use different personnel groupings. You see 2 tight ends, right? But now you got 2 offensive linemen in the backfield, too. David, you're talking about punching defense in the face. You just want to bludgeon a defensive line in the front 7. This is exactly what they do, and this is how they're going to attack the Hawkeyes defense. And I believe today they're going to get Charlie Kolar back. Now, Charlie Kolar is the Kolar Express, everybody. He's a great receiver. He's a guy who Brock Purdy always knows where he is. And watch him right here, one-on-one, he's a matchup nightmare. He puts the defensive back in the headlock with his right arm, and then he catches the touchdown with his left arm. Man, he's a great blocker, too. With Charlie back in the lineup, their offense works at a different level, David. So I think you're going to see a lot of different groupings, different personnel settings, but they're going to have to get Breece Hall into the flow of the game fast and early, David.
Dang, you make my tape now. I got to go defend this, right? Like,
yes,
I got to get ready for this.
All right.
If you watched the Iowa secondary a week ago, you liked what you saw. I mean, my goodness, they play with such great vision on the football. Every single time the quarterback, they play zone defense a lot. Watch. Every single time the quarterback sticks his foot in the ground to throw, this is what happens. A secondary player will break on the football. Watch this. Just give me a freeze. Boom. Shoulders turn. The ball's coming out. Look at Riley Moss. Go get the ball, young fella. Great job breaking on the football. Get it. You just got mossed. That was pick 6, number 2.
Nice,
now up
nice.
front. The defensive line up front. They do a bunch of stunting. They do a bunch of twisting. Again, how do I affect the quarterback? They don't get a bunch of sacks, but I think they'll make him uncomfortable and they'll pressure. But again, in the back end, look at it, reading the pattern coming across. More importantly, quarterbacks throwing the football. I'm breaking with vision on the football.
Yeah.
They do as well as anybody. I didn't say they could catch it. They do as well as anybody in the country with their zone coverage in the back end being disciplined using their eyes. Maybe you can use that to the disadvantage too.
You know, a lot of talk about Breece Hall, and there should be, but don't forget Tyler Goodson, the back from Iowa. I think he's motivated this week because of all the attention being paid, and rightfully so, to Breece Hall. This kid can run very hard for the Hawkeyes.
So we've set it up. Bear, 4:30 Eastern on ABC. Who wins it? It's the last game on your board.
This is like Ashton Kutcher right here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, are you kidding me?
I mean, last week was so predictable for Iowa State. They've done this the last how many years? They struggled in their opener. At least they got by it. Iowa, on the other hand, I think they have a public underdog kind of feel to them today. A lot of public money all over Iowa, and it makes sense. They looked great last week, but you're going to remember, they got 2 pick 6s last week. Is that going to happen again this week with how we talk? Thank you. I don't think it's going to
His people are talking to it.
Spencer Petras is going to have to play better. 13-27, $145. At some point, the streak is going to end, right? You didn't think I'm coming here and I'm not going to pick Iowa State, right? The streak's going to end today. Iowa State's going to win the game by at least a touchdown.
There you go.
The Bears.
Are you with him, David?
I am with him, but a lot closer than that. I think it's a field goal.
All right. All right. Bear, David,
Iowa State.
Iowa State. What about our celebrity guest picker?
Nope.
Oh, I don't think so. Look what Ashton Kutcher is rolling in on. Hey, McConaughey had the Lincoln. Kutcher got the big farm machinery coming. Here now, our celebrity guest picker, Eddie George. He picked UConn, so he's game under 500.
And Kane picked Miami, and he still went 9 over Alabama.
That was pretty good. He did.
And Miami over Alabama, and he still went 9-3. Should have gone 10-2.
That was what he wanted to happen. We are delighted to be joined by Ashton Kutcher here. Thanks for being here, man.
5-4. Yeah, I'm not surprised that an Ohio State guy went 5-4. That doesn't shock me. As an Iowa guy, that does not shock me.
There you go. A little rivalry going there. But meanwhile, in names this afternoon, Iowa and Iowa State, the Cyclones have won 6 straight at Jack Trice Stadium. That is 1 short of the school record. 1 short. 1 win against Iowa is what they covet the most.
You feel the importance of this rivalry.
It's a tale of two cities.
Young people grow up on one side of the table or the other.
This is a tradition, right? The Cy-Hawk game. From the first snap to the last, it's going to be a dogfight.
Trophy belongs to the Hawkeyes.
Being at home, holding the trophy up, it'll prove what we've expected.
It's something that's rented. It's not owned. Rent's due on Saturday.
All right, everybody's getting geared up. Here's the moment that's coming. No pick from Kirk. He's calling the game. Who wins?
I like Iowa State in this game. I think they're going to create turnovers, something that's been missing in the last 5 games. So I'm going Cyclones because of their defense creating turnovers today. Go Cyclones. Think about it. Think about it.
All right.
Here's the deal.
All right. I am a fully inclined Iowa Hawkeye football fan.
Okay.
I will be rooting for the Iowa Hawkeyes for the entire game.
Okay.
Make that clear.
Kurt Ferentz has never lost to Campbell. Never.
Never.
1 point. Parker is a massively underrated defensive coordinator. The Iowa Hawkeyes have been in the top 20 in defense for the last 6 years straight. Okay?
Yep.
The Iowa Hawkeyes have had 23 straight games of holding the other team to under 24 points. And when Iowa State is held to under 24 points, they're 2-12. I'm taking the bomb at center to be driving it up the middle with Goodwin all day long. And I'm taking the Iowa Hawkeyes to win this football game all day long. I don't care. Tyler Lindenbaugh is driving that football.
Man, bringing a heater. Some passion.
Hey, this is the Cy-Hawk Series Cup.
Okay.
It's 31 inches tall and weighs 19 pounds. It's beautiful.
It's really big.
I wanted to show it to the Iowa State fans because they haven't seen it in a while. take a real good look at it because Iowa's won it 5 straight years. It's State's turn to win it.
Yeah, I was.
Forget about it. Hawkeyes an upset.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about! Great pick! Great pick! Great pick!
All these great fans here. Thank you, Ashton Kutcher.